insecurities about your singing voice. You even stated that you knew you weren't the vocal favorite of Destiny's Child. Is that something that, what made you second guess?
You know what? It's not that I was second guessing. I'm just aware. You know, some people are like, oh my gosh, it's stuck. They said it stuck with her. No, it didn't stick with me. You know, just sometimes you're aware that you're not everybody's favorite. And that's okay. I still got paid.
Okay.
There are moments in the world of fame when the lights feel too bright, the whispers feel too loud, and the truth, well, the truth hits harder than anyone could have expected. And this is one of those moments. People woke up to headlines they once thought were too wild, too messy, too unreal to ever be true. But now, everyone is talking about it. A court document leaked, a DNA result surfaced. And suddenly, Beyoncé, the woman who has spent her entire life moving with grace, power, and silence, is standing in the center of a storm she never asked for. But here's the twist. This storm didn't come from an enemy. It didn't come from a stranger.
Yeah, I can challenge Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Like, that boy's got too much skills for me, buddy. Nope.
You know, we
can rap.
We can flow so well, you know. We're gonna put out Destiny's Child album, Rapology, you know.
Yeah, I can challenge Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Like, that boy's got too much skills for me, buddy.
It came from someone she once called sister. Kelly Rowland, her childhood friend, her Destiny's Child sister, the girl who lived in the same house, slept under the same roof, shared the same dreams. And according to what leaked last night, she is officially confirmed as the mother of Jay-Z's secret child. People are shocked, fans are torn, and Beyoncé? Sources say she broke down in tears when she realized the truth wasn't just a rumor anymore. It was real, it was on paper, and it was undeniable. But how did things get here? How did one of the strongest friendships in entertainment unravel into a betrayal that feels too personal, too deep, too heartbreaking? Let's rewind. Because this story, this scandal, didn't begin last night. It began years ago, quietly, in the shadows of fame. Long before they were global icons, Beyoncé and Kelly were just two girls trying to make it in a world that was never soft to them. Kelly didn't come from a stable home, and Beyoncé's parents stepped in, giving her safety, comfort, and the chance to dream big. The two became sisters before they became stars. They harmonized before they understood what harmony even meant. They grew up under the same roof, learned the music business together, performed together, cried together. Destiny's Child wasn't just a group. It was a family. Or at least, it used to be. But what nobody expected was how fame would twist that bond. People saw the glamorous side.
I really do. And if it's not, why you can't prove me wrong? Like, it's not far as a proving me wrong thing. It's go to the courtroom and basically do what everybody else would have to do. Like, it's not, you don't have to prove me wrong. I just want the truth. Honestly, I can take a no. I can take, if I'm embarrassed at the end of the day, I can take that. I really can. I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. I could take me being embarrassed. Like, this can't take nobody not saying nothing. Like, you know, it's not fair. I was 7. My mom had to sit down with me. I guess she thought I was old enough to know now. And she been saying, Sean Carter, that's what she was calling him at first before she was calling it Jay-Z. And I really didn't know who that was because I was young and, you know, had my little brother and I really wasn't worrying about it. She was saying it a lot, but I really just was going along with the person I was just seeing, like the person I looked at who was taking care of me at that time. I really wasn't really trying to understand what my mom was talking about, but she constantly put it in my head like, son, that
the awards, the tours, the career highs. But behind the scenes, small cracks were forming. The pressure, the favoritism, the constant comparison. Beyoncé became the global superstar. Kelly became the shadow. And even though they smiled in pictures, real emotions were building deep underneath. Some fans always felt there was tension, But nobody ever imagined it could turn into something like this, not even close. And the man at the center of this entire storm? Jay-Z. A powerhouse of his own, a mogul, a man whose influence stretches far beyond music, but also a man whose past is filled with stories, whispers, rumors, and accusations of children he allegedly ignored.
Securities about your singing voice. You even stated that you knew you weren't the vocal favorite of Destiny's Child. Is that something that, what made you second guess?
You know what? It's not that I was second guessing. I'm just aware. You know, some people are like, oh my gosh, it's stuck. They said it stuck with her. No, it didn't stick with me. You know, just sometimes you're aware that you're not everybody's favorite. And that's okay. I still got paid.
Okay.
Denied or hid from the public. For years, the internet was flooded with people claiming to be his kids. Some cases faded quietly, others went viral. But nothing shook the industry the way this one has. Because this time, the mother wasn't a stranger. She wasn't a fan. She wasn't a brief mistake. She was Kelly. The woman Beyonce trusted more than anyone except her own family. And now, the court filings have revealed that the child, known only as Jay, was fathered around a time that lines up with years Beyonce herself described as some of her darkest, most painful, most confusing. So how did this happen? How did this secret stay buried for so long? And why is it exploding now? Let's break it down. Years ago, Destiny's Child had already gone their separate ways. Beyonce was rising higher and higher. Kelly was fighting silently for her own spotlight. And Jay-Z, he was already the businessman who could make or break careers with a single meeting.
The typical stage mother who's there all of the time, interfering, meddling.
I hear the comment all the time, "Guy, you are nothing like I heard you were." You are really a nice person.
Kelly admired him, she respected him, and Beyonce trusted both of them. But sometimes trust makes people blind. According to the timeline that leaked, Kelly allegedly became close to Jay-Z during a period when Beyonce was traveling non-stop. Long tours, back-to-back projects, studio sessions that went until sunrise. Kelly was around the family often, invited to dinners, vacations, holidays. To Beyonce, this was normal. Kelly was like her sister. She never questioned it. But here's the twist. People around them did. Background dancers whispered about the chemistry they noticed. Assistants claimed Kelly and Jay-Z had private conversations that lasted too long. And there was even a rumor years ago that made the internet explode. The rumor that Beyonce and Solange fought Jay-Z in an elevator because of something he did with someone close. Everyone assumed it was Becky with the good hair. No one even imagined it could be Kelly. Until now. Because according to the leaked court documents, the child was born roughly around the time Solange had her infamous elevator explosion. And suddenly, everything makes sense. Fans started pulling photos, comparing faces, noting the timing, connecting dots that were always in plain sight. And when the child's features were compared to Jay-Z's, people were stunned. Even Beyonce's own fans, the ones who defend her with everything they have, began asking uncomfortable questions. And Beyonce? Multiple insiders say she broke down the moment she saw the DNA confirmation. She reportedly whispered one thing: "Not Kelly, anyone but Kelly." Because betrayal from a stranger hurts. But betrayal from family? That destroys something inside you. Let's go deeper. Because this mess didn't stop at the DNA test. It only got worse. According to sources familiar with the situation, Kelly allegedly hid the pregnancy for months. She told people the father was a private boyfriend. She kept distance from Beyonce during the later stages. She disappeared for a while, far from the spotlight. People assumed she wanted privacy. They didn't know she was hiding something much darker. When the baby was born, Kelly reportedly refused to list the father publicly. She claimed it was personal. She kept her distance even more. And Beyonce, being the supportive friend she always was, sent gifts, love, and support to a baby she believed was just Kelly's child with another man, never knowing she was sending love to a child her own husband fathered. But here's the part that sent fans into meltdown. The document that leaked last night wasn't new, meaning Beyoncé has been in the dark for years, meaning Jay-Z and Kelly allegedly kept this a secret for a long, long time, meaning everything Beyoncé built, her marriage, her sisterhood, her trust, was sitting on a hidden truth. The betrayal wasn't just the act. It was the years of silence. So how did it come out? That's where the story gets even more twisted. Apparently, there was a legal dispute involving financial support. Someone in the court leaked the results. It wasn't supposed to be public. It wasn't supposed to be known. But once the papers surfaced, the internet burned with theories, screenshots, timelines, and endless debates. Some people are defending Kelly, saying she must have been manipulated, pressured, or stuck in a situation she couldn't escape. Others believe she intentionally betrayed Beyoncé, wanting revenge for years of feeling overshadowed, ignored, or underestimated. And some say the entire situation reveals a darker truth, that behind the glamorous family image the Carters show the world, there are wounds that have been bleeding for years. But no matter which side people take, one thing is certain. Beyoncé is hurting. The woman who always speaks through music instead of drama. The woman who never addresses scandals directly. The woman who built her entire empire on discipline and silence is reportedly shattered. Insiders say she hasn't spoken to Kelly since the leak. She hasn't spoken publicly. She hasn't posted. She hasn't been seen. And if you think the story ends here, it doesn't. Because there's another twist, one that nobody saw coming. According to new whispers from people close to the situation, Beyoncé's family, especially Solange, is furious. Remember the elevator incident? The screams, the kicks, the punches? People once joked about it. But now, they're wondering if Solange knew something even Beyoncé didn't. What if the fight wasn't just about another woman? What if it was about Kelly? Some insiders claim Solange suspected something years ago but couldn't prove it, and instead of exposing the truth then, she let anger explode in that elevator. Beyoncé stayed silent because she didn't want the world to see cracks in her marriage or friendships. But cracks are exactly what we're seeing now. As for Jay-Z, he hasn't said a word. People close to him claim he's trying to handle everything privately. Others say he's terrified the story will destroy everything he's built, because having a child outside your marriage is one thing. Having that child with your wife's lifelong friend, that crosses a line even tabloids weren't ready for. Now fans are wondering, will Beyoncé leave him? Will Destiny's Child ever reunite again? Will Kelly speak? Will the truth finally come out publicly? Nobody knows. But everyone is watching. And here's the emotional impact this entire situation has created. Beyoncé isn't just grieving a marriage betrayal. She's grieving a friendship, a sisterhood, a childhood bond, a lifetime of memories. Kelly wasn't just a former bandmate. She was the girl Beyoncé shared toothbrush cups with, the girl who slept in the next room, the girl she grew up protecting, defending, loving. Losing, that hurts deeper than tabloids can ever explain. People close to Beyoncé say she feels like she's mourning someone who's still alive, like the past 25 years of sisterhood were shattered in a single moment. She reportedly said, "I don't know what was real anymore." And that's the heartbreaking part. Because when betrayal comes from family, it robs you of more than trust. It steals your memories. It rewrites your history. It makes you question everything you ever believed. As for Kelly, sources say she feels trapped, guilty, embarrassed, but also scared. She never wanted this to come out. She allegedly worked hard to hide it, hoping the truth would stay buried. But secrets don't stay buried forever, especially not in the world of superstardom. And the child, innocent in all of this, is now at the center of the biggest scandal the music world has seen in years. So how does this story end? It doesn't. At least not yet. But here's what we do know. A family is broken. A friendship is torn. A marriage is shaking. And the world is witnessing something nobody expected. Will Beyoncé forgive? Will Jay-Z admit the truth publicly? Will Kelly speak out and explain her side? No matter what happens next, one thing is clear. This is the kind of betrayal that changes people forever. The kind of wound that doesn't heal quickly. The kind of story that leaves scars long after the headlines fade. But if history has taught us anything, it's that Beyoncé rises from pain with power. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every crack in her world becomes the fuel for something unforgettable. And fans everywhere are waiting, watching, wondering what her next move will be. Because this isn't just celebrity drama. This is a story about trust shattered, family divided, and truth finally coming to light. And when Beyoncé returns, because she always does, the world will be ready. But for now, this is the storm. This is the chaos. This is the moment everything changed.